Hello and welcome to 321 Presents. I said I was prepared, and now here I am, standing on the edge with nothing ready to go. No, this week I will be your host, Nick, and with me as always, we've got Zach.
Hello, hello.
Zach, we are coming in at the very beginning of May here. Did you realize how many celebrations are going to be happening between like now and the Monday when this comes out?
What are we defining as a celebration?
Well, so we're going to have, today is May 1st. That's a thing that we don't really have here, but
May Day.
May Day, yeah.
Which is poorly named.
Old pagan traditions, mostly.
It is, but it also what you yell when everything is going wrong.
Also that, yeah, co-opted for piloting reasons. Or is that just a general military thing?
I think it's just a general everything is going wrong. Because I'm pretty sure you yell when the ship is sinking too. I feel like that feels appropriate. Anytime you're driving a thing.
So yes, that's currently today while we're recording. You've got the Kentucky Derby coming up on the 2nd.
Tomorrow, as we're recording on the 1st here.
Nothing on the 3rd. And then May the 4th be with you.
Now.
That's official.
Now.
And then it'll be Cinco de Mayo.
Yep, all checks out.
So that's a busy celebratory weekend here.
I mean, it's tough out there to be a person who would consume the beverages of the alcohol type, and also if you are celebrating
Juleps and Margaritas.
That's a long week.
Yeah,
it's not for the faint of heart, and it's not for the old. That is a youthful game that is to be played.
Indeed. Pop quiz, Zach. Do you know what Cinco de Mayo actually celebrates?
It's not Mexican independence because that's in September. It is the Battle of Puebla, which I remember having to educate all my friends of the lesser melanin colors.
Very good. I'm very proud of you for knowing that.
Thank you.
And spreading the knowledge.
My gramps would be very, very proud of me, and that's what I strive to do with my life.
Very good.
Thank you.
You passed the pop quiz with flying colors. Now, Zach, that we've warmed you up a little, it's time to rip off that Band-Aid.
Where's the Kentucky Derby? Oh.
No.
Yep.
Time to rip off the Band-Aid before we get into other more entertaining sports talk. Would you like to say a few words as we stand solemnly over the grave of the Nuggets season?
I was going to say, why does it sound like I'm stepping into a funeral where I it's not quite a eulogy,
it's gotten very quiet, and we're all dressed up a little nice today, and we're gonna just look back on the season that could have been.
I would like to point out that he says we are dressed very nice today. I am in golf pants and a button-down shirt, while he wears a Colorado Avalanche hoodie and pajama pants.
Yeah, it was a proverbial dress nice.
Yes.
In the mind.
Okay.
The fact that you happen to also be wearing nice clothes has nothing to do with it.
I see. Oh, what even to say about this? I don't even know where to begin.
Well, let's start with the fact that we're having to eulogize them because they did lose to the Timberwolves in 6.
A broken Timberwolves team, not even a full strength, missing their best player.
Not even the B squad, the C squad. It was the B and the C squad.
You had some A players in there. Rudy Gobert and
Gobert did a
Julius
lot of work.
Randle
this
were
series.
there.
Yeah.
Naz Reid is there, but he's kind of an AB player. No one's quite sure where he fits in.
He's coming off the bench, kind of, but
yeah, but that C squad is. I mean, they were far hungrier than it felt like we were. Just every single game, I would say we got kind of lucky. The ones that we did win, and I mean, the last game that we won was fairly commanding, and it felt like everything was going the right way finally. And boy, how wrong I was there thinking that. But the rest were pretty much back and forth games, which they shouldn't have. If we look at the teams on paper, we are a much better team than the Timberwolves, but they have something that we did not, and that's heart. Heart matters some of the times, especially a lot of the times if when you're in the playoff.
A real proving moment of why the game is not played on paper, that old adage, and yes, the human element involved. And with that being the general consensus, like just watching the games, it did not look like a cohesive team, did not look like we were making adjustments really in game or anything like that.
We vastly underperformed even what our baseline should have been. I mean, Jokic and Murray both struggled shooting the ball the whole series.
There were 3 games where no one could shoot.
That one's tough because Jokic has Gobert on him, who is a 3-time, if not 2-time, winner in a row of the Defensive Player of the Year. Gobert, who's
I think it's easy for us to look back at the other postseason runs that Jokic has put up on Gobert and be like, that's just what he does, and like kind of take for granted like how exceptional those like dominances over this guy was.
Jaden McDaniels kind of smack-talked us all the way through, right deservingly so. He was just hunting down Jamal Murray the whole time, just being a menace.
Playing the playoff heel to a T, I would say, like doing literally everything right in terms of that style of being an agitator and getting under the other team's skin.
I mean, it's all about perspective, right? We live in like we kind of talked about, the Grand area where the Nuggets coverage is so vast amongst the mountain region, if it were. But I mean, a lot of the league feels like does not enjoy Nuggets basketball like we enjoy basketball. So for Jaden McDaniels to call him out and everyone's like, yeah, that's right, because a lot of the fans nowadays, especially the younger ones, are all Oklahoma City Thunder fans and growing up with that sort of basketball. Our bandwagon is very empty these days.
Sure. And you know, we have always been the team that sort of bucked the trend of what the rest of the league has been doing. But that all being said, a lot of speculation now on what the roster is going to look like coming into next season and what the coaching staff will look like next season.
I mean, it's so like
kind of like, I think the only for sure we know who's coming back is Nikola Jokic, and everything else is potentially up in the air.
He has one more year. That's assuming and we do have to kind of get him re-signed this offseason, which I expect us to do, which is going to be a hefty price tag. I mean, for what we are paying them, Jamal Murray had an all-star season finally, but the postseason was very lackluster for him thus far. Didn't quite feel like he had the same chip on his shoulder or shot-making abilities. I think all in all, Cam Johnson, for what he did in the season, not what we were hoping for nor expected. Cam Johnson in the playoffs, however, I think
that was what we wanted. Yeah,
I think he played his role to a T. Like I couldn't ask more from Cam Johnson, nor should I ask more from Cam Johnson. Like he did what we want him to do.
To be a third option guy,
third or fourth option. Yeah. Unfortunate that we did not have Gordon for this. Who I still will go on my deathbed or whatever, saying he is the second best player on this team without a question, coming down just to pure basketball.
But do you keep that contract if he can't stay healthy is the question with AG now, because everyone loves AG. You know when he's right, he's great.
I mean,
but are we getting great AG anymore?
I think we, like, in the games that he's played, we know what he's going to give us and how he plays. But the issue is I don't know why we just don't give him the time to get the hamstring right. Like, it always feels like he's on the track and then he tweaks it again.
And now this comes down to who's making those decisions, like medical staff. Does that need to be overhauled? And does that include wiping out, the rest of the coaching staff?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that's a deep dive for our friendly owners, the Josh Kroenkes and the GMs to sort of look into. I assume the GMs are probably in place because we just got both of them, which is a wild statement to say about a general manager position. I mean, the tough question that I've been sort of struggling to deal with this postseason / this one series that we've gotten. We were so blessed to play with.
Yeah, these 6 games.
Like, how much do you put on the coach versus the players and whatnot for this? Because, like you talked about, it was not a very cohesive team overall. And leading up to the playoffs, we had just won 12 in a row, 13 in a row, something like that. It was like the best streak that we've had in Nikola Jokic history here. Like, where do things all go wrong, and how does the blame get sort of divvied up? I mean, I can't say Adelman deserves all the blame as the head coach, but he doesn't deserve to have like all the blame taken away from him as well as the leader of the team. He shoulders
some responsibility, in that role of head coach. He's not just a specialty, like one part of the assistant team. He is the guy and should be, because they had a lot of media chatter in the blogosphere and on the Twitters about Very snippy post-game interviews in this series, and
I mean, I don't like any of the things that he's said thus far, especially throughout the postseason. Like you said, they're very snippy and snarky. Like some of those things you just got to take on the chin, my guy. The way we have played, deservingly, you deserve to be called out, not only because you are the coach of this team, but you are also supposed to be the leader of this team as the coach. That is quite literally your job description.
And a very stark compare contrast. Again, only 6 games this year, but last playoffs was that sort of the breath of fresh air of just the change up across the whole structure of the team right before the playoffs started, and that kind of seemed to give everyone a lift in terms of just a fresh start. But before that, Coach Malone was very much sort of you could see his impact in terms of hyping up the team, I mean, having them ready to play.
Last year, he'd already coached us, and even the year prior when we did not have Malone available to us, he was his replacement for those, and those games did not go, I mean, it didn't feel like anything was different there. The one thing I will say for him that didn't happen last year, unfortunately, it doesn't feel like we had quite the breadth of coaching candidates that we do sort of this year to go along with. So, I mean, it sucks, and it would be sucked to have another change up so soon. But again, when it comes down to what we are restricted in doing, when it comes to the salary cap, it's super easy to switch out a head coach.
Yeah, a head coach seems like the easiest part to replace on this machine versus really you're starting there was already the P-Watt question, and that really seems like he's probably we're not going to be able to keep him around probably.
Not even unless you have to get just,
and then you're talking about those core 4 or 5 guys around Jokic. If something's got to move.
Yeah, if P-Watt stays, that means Cam Johnson's not going to stay, and if Cam stays, that means P-Watt's not going to be able to stay unless you are going to decide to choose between Gordon and Murray. Unfortunately, I think we would unfortunately side with Murray because he has been healthy and is the duo to Nikola Jokic, but I don't know how you can justify that with what Aaron Gordon has done with his body of work here in the Denver area, especially in the last year, starting the season off with a 50-point game.
Oh, yeah.
And then having the ability to just play defense is incredible.
There have been a handful of guys like this. I can't think of one specifically, but it's a thing that pops up every now and then of these guys who have these super high ceilings, but they get this, a couple of nagging injuries or something, and all of a sudden you get that tag on you of injury prone, and that kind of hurts your value on the open market, as they would say.
As a sports guy, even we can translate this to pretty much about any sport. Is it easier to, and I think hockey is a good comparison for this, is it easier to go get a guy that will handle the puck and take care of the puck and get the puck moving to where it needs to go, or to replace the dude who is going to be your two-way player? He's not the best offensive player we have, nor is he going to be, he's probably your one of your better defenders, though. Which one of those guys do you want to keep?
I mean, in that metaphor, the guy who is the reliable defender is the more valuable to the team structure, but then contract-wise, you're going to find that the playmaking guy gets the higher value, on the contract side of things. On a roster construction thing, I say, you need the defense guys. You have to be building on a foundation of those type of guys. But you're going to allocate a lot more resources towards obtaining the higher ceiling guy.
I'm curious, what are you willing to give up to have the dude who we know is a little lackluster on the defensive end, we'll say, to be kind.
Sure.
But has the ability to have the ball in his hand, make the tough shot, and also hit those clutch shots. But how often are those, should we be in the position where we need the clutch shot to be hit?
Right.
And how often is he going to be the guy that's taking control? Because there are a lot of possessions, unfortunately for Jamal, that I absolutely hate, because if he touches it, a lot of times no one else gets to touch the ball.
The decision making is, not always ideal for the system, it feels like.
No, not for what I'd want. There were, even in the playoffs runs, you could see possessions where we have Jamal, Nikola, and sort of our top 5 running the floor, and Nikola won't get a touch at all on the possession, or will chuck up a shot that is not ideal within the first like couple passes. Like we know that's going to come around, especially with Nikola and whoever else on the floor. We know who they're going to focus on.
Yeah, I think, just from that sort of metaphorical looking at roster construction, like bang for your buck, replacing the point guard position feels like the biggest way to make like the biggest impact on the team overall.
I mean, it's going to be different. For me, in my mind, like Jamal never has felt like a point guard because the point guard responsibilities is not what Jamal Murray kind of does.
Excels at, yeah.
Yeah, like the point guard's
and
job
that
is
maybe like the critique of the two-man game system. If you shut down part of the two-man game, it's just a one-man game.
Well, I think we are kind of forced to run a two-man game because I don't think Jamal Murray excels super well in that point guard spot. Really, our point guard for our offense is Nikola Jokic. His job is to get the ball moving and find the open guys, run the plays, set up the plays how they're supposed to be doing. That is what Jamal Murray's position is supposed to be, but instead we have point center Jokic setting up all the plays and running off everything, and Jamal's playing more of a glorified shooting guard spot who is going to be your best shooter on the floor, usually of the smaller
when
variety. When he is hitting.
He can go cold. Like, that's true of all shooters. It feels like there's cold spells are going to hit, but they not ideal timing for Mr. Murray a lot of the time.
No, I mean, the shot difficulty that he takes is wild, but I mean, he is more superhuman than I, but so I guess that is fine, and some of those are not as difficult as I would think they would be.
For my money, in a let go of emotion and just look at making moves thing here, I think you keep Jokic and AG together, and then I think you keep P. Watt, and I think you err. Just in general, I think the meta right now is err on the side of young guys coming up on cheaper contracts and hit on those.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna try to do like the Warrior system to build that sort of dynasty around the three being Clay, Steph, and Draymond, right? So our Steph is going to be, of course, Nikola Jokic. Not quite the same dude or position, but I mean, like shot making ability, play making ability is all there.
Yeah,
AG is kind of playing our Draymond spot. Except he's a much better offensive player. He's kind of a fuse between him and Clay. So it's just figuring out who's going to be that another all-star caliber player. And it really had been no one up until Jamal finally got his all-star nod this season.
Yeah,
like it's a tough decision to make in the front office. I mean, I think as fans we're going to have to deal with some departing of players that we love. Like, I don't want to see AG go. He's Mr. Nugget, and I think, like I've said, he's the second best player on our roster. Not everyone sees that way because, unfortunately, and if we go back to the press conferences, no one cares about defense. It's all about offense, or vice versa, per David Adelman.
Yeah.
And Jamal Murray is just a better offensive player compared to AG at times, a majority of the time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Any final thoughts on basketball, how round one is shaping up?
Round one's been kind of a little bit of a wild ride, not only as a Nuggets fan, but around the league. Before that, we got to witness the whooping of the Atlanta Hawks via the New York Knicks.
Record, what was that record halftime lead and then record score?
The subs got to basically play the whole fourth quarter in a playoff game.
That's a wild sight. 140-89 was the final on that guy.
Nope. There's going to be a game 7 between Philly and Boston of all people, and Philly's been up and down. Kind of seen really
surprising
no light.
That one went 7. Yeah,
the light was very dim at the end of the tunnel, but it was there.
Yeah. So really the only second round matchup we know for sure right now as of recording time is Timberwolves are going to go play the Spurs.
Pretty much. Lakers and Rockets right now, as we are recording today, are in their game 6. That series is going to be 3-2. Lakers are kind of rolling up on them, so I think the Lakers are going to continue to roll through, and they'll go play OKC for that matchup. East is going to be a little bit of a tougher thing. Pistons and Magic going to go 6, or going to go 2-7. After today. That matchup is crazy to watch. That's kind of like some good old school basketball. It's not very high scoring for the most part, but it's physical, and it is, if that's your type of basketball, that's the one to watch.
Sounds like playoff hockey.
A little bit. That is a good comparison for that. And then Cleveland and the Raptors are going to go to 7 as well, which I think is a little bit of a shock because not very many people were high on Toronto. and Cleveland was coming in a little bit with a little bit of luck, and James Harden perhaps, who kind of is a little bit of a bad luck.
Yeah, seems to be a little bit of a Corey Perry curse on him, maybe.
I don't know if we're going to put that on him quite yet.
Yeah, he hasn't been to enough finals yet.
Yeah, he's been to one. He usually burns out before we get there. So, unfortunately, Corey Perry does find a way to find himself into a finals.
That's true. That's, well, we can't deny Corey Perry that. Fantastic. I've seen that WNBA clicking right along. We had a draft and they're already into preseason action out there.
We are. I'm interested to see how their roster shakeups and whatnot, because we're already seeing some cuts made and some decisions be made as to who's going to be where on what spot. Media days are all happening. Season's going to be starting here pretty soon, like in a couple weeks, in fact, as we exit.
Yeah, it's
straight in.
Yeah, hyper speed off season.
Which kind of crazy, because for the most part, a large majority of the women professional athletes, you don't really get an off season. You just go play in another league.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
And now for the W, they largely don't have to do that.
If they don't want to, I'm curious.
They're getting much better, like 400% across the board pay raises is very good.
I am curious to see what happens to our beloved Unrivaled League and Athletes Unlimited and all the other leagues with this major price bump. Like, are we still going to get the WNBA women there, or does it become more of a showcase for women who don't have a team in the WNBA?
Not quite that top tier.
Not quite the top tier, or don't have a team, and to showcase what their talents are, which I think would also be they're kind of...
I think you'll probably see a little bit more of that, especially if they want to do any more like expansion teams and stuff like that, if they wanted to start having more roster spots available.
I mean, we're going to have, in the W, we know we're going to have at least 3 more teams in the next 3 years. So 27, there's going to be a new team. 28, there's going to be a new team. Or I can't remember if it's 27, 28, and 29, or is it 30, 28,
I feel like it was
27.
27, 28, 30 or something.
Yeah, I think that's the right one. But we're going to get 3 new teams, so that's going to be another 12 roster spots to fill.
Yeah, and then pipeline that. I don't know if you've seen anything about it in the basketball side of things, that the NCAA did some sort of like eligibility change this week.
So there's been well, you could thank the NCAA basketball people for this, because there's been some kind of crazy and weird cases where you'll see an athlete who will go play and get drafted in the basketball world for some reason, go play like summer league or whatever, not make the team, and then he'll go back to
his college team.
And they're like, I don't know if you can do that, my guy.
Yeah, generally when you declare for a draft, that makes you ineligible going forward in the college, at least for most sports.
Depends on how the sport is laid out. Like baseball, you can go declare for the draft in high school and be like, I got drafted in the 126th round because there's so many of these, and I'm going to go to waive that and go to college and enter later, which is fine if you don't go play for the professional team or to the mini camps or training camps and then get cut and be like, oh wait, JK.
Yeah, you can't be like, oh, AA is actually really hard. I'll come back.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna wait and get some more reps in college and then get redrafted again. Like that, you can't do that.
Yeah. But because this has also come up on the PWHL expansion plans, they are concerned that this extra year of eligibility, essentially that the NCAA is adding for players kind of across the board, will impact the pipeline for new teams into the PWHL. Because there was, we didn't really cover this, but there was a leak earlier in the year about what their salaries are, and like the Hillary Knights and Sarah Nurses, the big top name, really long season veteran players, are getting like $80,000 or $90,000.
You gotta have another job.
And the entry level players are like in the 30 to 25 range. So
it's tough to say, right? Because we're in a weird Westworld world of, we have NIL stuff going on.
The NIL thing is the huge new wrinkle that means you might be more financially benefited by playing that 5th year of college.
There are times when that is very beneficial to the athlete, where especially if you are beloved in your college, you're a hero in that town or whatever, but maybe not quite professional caliber, or at least superstar professional caliber like you are in the college atmosphere. But when it comes to a sport like the PWHL, I can't imagine that affects it too much because I can't imagine they get so much of that NIL deal or have that much of an NIL deal where it's like, I'm going to be losing money going to play professional. That's kind of the same thing with
I think
the
it's
women.
the thing of there are, in the same way that there are football schools that have boosters and whatnot, there are certain programs that have like hockey programs that would have enough of like a booster thing for both the men and women's teams. If you bring the school championships, you get some support from the alums and whatnot.
Oh, for sure. But is it going to be enough to offset like a whole professional salary? Even like 30K is a lot of money, especially for a college student to say, you're going to come here and I will pay you 30K for like, I love college hockey, but it amongst the ranking of NCAA sports, it is probably the bottom with lacrosse, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's definitely not in the upper stratosphere by any means. Yeah, it's a thing that they are discussing in the conference rooms of the PWHL though, because they've been teasing the expansion announcement all off season here, or during the season, after we just did the expansion from 6 to 8. And everyone's like, I think because the rumor is they're going to shoot for another 4 and bump up to 12. And everyone's like, do you have enough players for that many roster spots right away? And the potential wrinkle of not as many college players coming up right away could also affect that.
Yeah, I get that. But I think if we are going this route with the NCAA, now we're making this more of a business sort of thing. The true business inside of college, you have to either become powerhouse football team is like number one. If you can get that money, you're basically printing money at that point. But if you can't quite do that, next best option, I'm going to go full on in basketball, and that's where my NIL money is going to go. Not to say that we're going to discount the DU miners and Boston College and whoever else, Minnesotas of the world that have incredible hockey teams. Not to say that they're going to be discounted. It's just when it comes to the share of money, that we know where it's going to probably go in this business world.
For sure. While we're talking about the PWHL, though, we should mention that playoffs will be starting tomorrow as we're recording here, also on the 2nd. And the first place Montreal Victoire chose as their opponent the Minnesota Frost.
So they want to get eliminated again, you're telling me.
Well, so Minnesota is...
How many times has Minnesota beat them in the playoffs now?
Both times, I think.
Yep.
But hey...
I see what they're going for. They can't beat me in the championship if I already lose to them
in the first round. Yeah. Because their other option was Ottawa, who were the hottest team coming into the playoffs as well.
Does it feel better to lose in the first round of the championship?
In this one, with only the one preceding round, I have to imagine they're kind of on the same footing.
I don't know.
Championship is definitely worse.
Yeah, that one hurts. That one's gonna hurt.
When you watch the other team skate the trophy around, that's bad. That you burn that one in as bad memory.
There are so many videos and pictures of people just watching the other team celebrate very menacingly. Like, sometimes it works out. Other times they end up back right there.
Yeah. So that will be matchup 1 in the semis, Montreal versus Minnesota. And then your other matchup is going to be Boston Fleet versus the Ottawa Charge. Again, Ottawa coming in as the hot team because they were desperate to earn their spot. But Boston coming in with the brick wall Aaron Frankel, who posted 8 shutouts this season over 30 games.
Is it wrong for me I kind of want Ottawa to win because it feels like
Canada should have something.
Canada needs a championship somewhere down the... They've just kind of been getting dumpstered all the whole way.
They are the plucky underdogs for this matchup, and I think that's fine, especially since your Siren did not, unfortunately, sneak into that last spot.
We got closer, though, so progress.
Progress, for sure. They weren't the bottom team this year.
It's not about the destination. It's about the journey we go along. If you're just winning all the time, that's no good. That doesn't make a good story. But if I find a way to take myself from the bottom to the top, that's what we're looking for. That's a Disney caliber story.
Absolutely. So we'll see how that plays out. And then we'll just cover the rest of round 1 from the hockey world. I can cheerfully report
All sunshine and rainbows over there, or well, it's dark clouds and funerals over here.
Avs took care of business in 4. No goalie shenanigans in this one. And we did the nice thing of sending Andrei Kopitar home in front of his home fans after a 20-something year career. 22?
I mean, hey,
It is a long one.
Good luck, man. Good luck. Maybe you can get a media job. Probably not, because you're a hockey player. And
I think he's ready to live the quiet life.
The Canadian way.
He's gonna go, or he's Slovakian.
The Eastern European way.
He can definitely just go be in charge of their hockey program if he wants to. Avs in 4, and the Carolina Hurricanes also took care of the Ottawa Senators in 4.
Oh.
So we were the first 2 round 2 participants that we knew about. And then last night, the Minnesota had a good sports night last night, much to your chagrin.
You know what? Good on them. Someone needed to.
The T-Wolves finished off their series on the same night that the Wild did as well, knocking off the Dallas Stars in 6. The Dallas Stars, the only team in the league with 2 players who got fined for cross-checking opponents in the head. Classy individuals.
Can't do that.
That's your captain Jamie Benn and Mikko Rantanen.
Because he's it feels
on
like
a
he's
villain mode. Yeah,
he's kind of a villain over there. Like he's turned that switch completely.
He's done a heel turn for sure.
For sure. Also, would you have happened to sacrifice my beloved Denver Nuggets to not see the Dallas Stars?
I not intentionally, but I will take it because it bodes very well for us to have the Stars not on the bracket anymore. Not to get into
there's bracketology.
Yeah, just
their matchups mean things. Ask Minnesota.
In the 3 other years that we've done this, we didn't have to go through Dallas.
Ask Denver Nuggets.
Every time Dallas is on the road, hasn't gone well.
Or Winnipeg.
I guess technically, but those are kind of fluky.
Sad.
Yeah. And then the other matchups that we now know, Carolina is going to be facing the Philadelphia Flyers, who had to go 6 with Pittsburgh.
Scrappy.
Yeah, Sid and Gino over there said that they weren't going to go down without a fight.
I could this is get down, old man. Stop fighting me.
Pretty much. I mean, both Washington and Pittsburgh are both we love our 2 old franchise icons, but God, we can't rebuild while they're still in town.
I'm trying to drown him. He won't die.
Yeah. So unfortunate, and perhaps you don't know how many more runs in the postseason Sid's got left in him. So unfortunate to see him go out in the first round again.
The fact that they made it, though, is nice. It's cute.
A very unexpected. Pittsburgh did not look on track about a month out. So
I mean, they haven't looked on track in long time. Mini moon.
Yeah, for sure. Buffalo vanquished the Boston Bruins earlier this evening, and they are awaiting the Game 7 winner between Tampa Bay and Montreal.
Let's go, Sabres! Bring me a pretzel.
And then Anaheim is waiting for the winner between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Utah Mammoth after vanquishing the Edmonton Oilers in 6, sending Connor McDavid home in 6 games.
The one team I'm kind of a little afraid of is Anaheim, just a bit.
Oh, no, I'm not scared of Anaheim, even a little bit. They were good enough to beat Edmonton, but the Pacific is the weakest division in the...
I don't disagree with that, but it just feels like a cute little story that I don't want to be on a villain of. What is the team in D3? The big old
seniors, the varsity
team. Yeah, can't have that.
No, that's not ideal. Wildly, we are the oldest average roster in the playoffs this year, but that's largely due to Brent Burns.
Well, yeah,
Brent Burns skews it almost a full year by being in his 40s.
One, I'm shocked it's not Pittsburgh even still. I know Sid's not. Sid is old, but he's not Brent Burns old.
Yeah, he's only late 30s still.
Damn that old man.
Basically.
Hey, but he's playing well.
But yeah, it goes to show like we've been enjoying our era of prosperity here for longer than maybe everyone realizes, because like a lot of other teams have already are doing like a full refresh on rosters.
Well, that's because, I mean,
Yeah,
some of
like
them
by
need to.
necessity.
Yeah, we don't have quite the. If you did get good hockey players and you figure out a way to keep good hockey players, things to work out. But
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Nate Dogg.
So yeah, that's how things are looking out. Round 2 looking. I think potentially we have conditions for a Sunday game 1 for round 2, but most likely not till Monday. Will round 2 start across the NHL? So we will have further reporting on what the final matchups were and how that's going next week.
I'm just upset that I have to witness Corey Play another playoff game.
He keeps just he's like,
why will you not die, old man?
Basically. While we're getting bad sports news out of the way, so let's talk about the Rockies and how they keep avoiding us.
First off, bad sports. This is wild that this is bad sports. We should all be very cheerful and happy here, but we all know once that happens, once I feel something, once I feel hope,
yeah,
I get stabbed in the heart again.
Yeah, that's the beauty of baseball. How can you not be romantic about it?
Well, I mean, I think that's just sports in general, but
baseball has a special way of doing it to you, then.
So the problem with my beloved Rockies is
what a wild tone shift immediately into week 6 of baseball coverage here.
You'll see how this takes its turn.
Okay.
The problem with my beloved Rockies is if I pick them to do well, they play the worst baseball they possibly find a way to. If I pick them to pick the worst possible baseball that I've seen, they find a way to do well. So I don't know what to do with this team, like much of the rest of the league.
Do you take your lumps and continue to only have the one win on the board?
It's like I have a teenage child already. Like I tell him to do something and he just does the complete opposite. Did not hear a word I said. Like the expectations I had for him were so low. And then he showed me, hey, I can do some stuff. I'm like, all right. And then he forgot to take out the trash, and the trash is already just chilling in his room. Like, all right, buddy, we're back down here again.
See, now that we got your first old man rant out, they're flowing free.
Well, so this is what happens when I've been heartbroken for the last 24 hours. I've not been good.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, this is what they mean when they say baseball teaches you life lessons. It's hard lessons about parenting and stuff like that. For those who do not know what we're going on about, we had predicted. Zach, you had predicted a 1-5 week. I predicted a 3-3 split over the last 6 games for the Rocks. They went 4-2, completely swept the Mets, and took 1 from the Reds.
I had hoped that the Mets were not the worst baseball team in the major leagues, but they probably are. And I know the Rockies are smashing the Braves today. I saw. Last I looked at them, they were 6-0. I could only imagine from the look on your face that the great listeners didn't get to see. We're probably at a 13-0 or something like that.
At the end of the 8th inning, it is 6-6. Braves and Rockies. They just blew the lead.
That's the way we're gonna go. Okay.
Yeah. No, the Braves.
Hey, guess what, everybody? My beloved Rockies. My son has come home to me.
So yes, with this game in progress, we will take this one off of the predictions, leaving us only 5 games to predict for the current week ahead of us. We've got 2 more against the Braves, and then another 3 with the Mets in Coors Field.
Yep.
So of those 5, what are we thinking the split's going to be this time?
I think we'll take one from Atlanta. I have something in the world makes me believe that we're probably not going to win this one tonight. And then the Mets. What am I going to do with the Mets, Mr. and Mrs. Met? Oh.
Do the Mets hitters activate at Coors Field?
They kind of do. Like Juan Soto does like to hit balls here. Pause. 1 from Atlanta, and I will give them. I can't. Surely the Mets can't be the worst baseball team in the major league 2 weeks in a row, right?
They're going on a full month here. So.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to have them taking 2 from the Mets.
So 3-2 for the week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, I don't like that. I don't like to because they're winning at that point, and I don't feel good.
Over 500, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I will go ahead and take the 2 and 4. What are the odds they go 4 and 2 again? Or no, not 2 and 3. Yeah, 2 wins, 3 losses. They can't keep going above 500 every week. That's wild. Before you know it, the record will be above 500.
Watch, we're gonna lose 6 in a row now. That'd be on par for what would feels.
They're gonna go on a streak of some sort at one point or another.
Again, we it feels like we did this last year. It's like everything was up and up and up, and we peaked, and it was.
Oh no! I saw a really interesting stat about when in the season we got our 13th win compared to previous years.
Oh, yeah. I mean, much faster this year than
last year. It was in game 69 or something.
Yeah, this
year it was
awful.
In game like 19 or like 23.
It feels so long ago that Bud Black had coached this team, and it was, to be fair, but
a couple of years, yeah.
Who?
It's Warren Schaefer now.
Yeah, because we had to fire Bud Black because he was doing so bad.
Yeah, he only made it about a month into last year.
It's insane.
Yeah, I mean he was around for. I think he became the second longest tenured head coach. It's like Clint Hurdle, and then
so stupid. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it's wild. I don't know. Did I have any other baseball notes this week? I don't think so. But I do have a few random sports notes outside of our major four before we switch gears a little bit here. Did you see the NLL Indoor Lacrosse League had also started their playoffs, and our Mammoth were in the quarterfinals against the San Diego Seals, lost the game in overtime. The next day, the league came out and said,
"Our bad.
Whoops." Even after a 10-minute video review, refs got the call wrong. The goal should have been disallowed. Our bad. We won't put those refs in any more games this year.
Yeah, but you guys have a good time
Enjoy your
home.
off season.
Yeah, have a good one.
Yeah.
So, as a coach, as a sports fan, there is nothing that makes me more upset than when a ref says, "Hey, my bad." Like, I don't want to hear my bad. Like, I would much rather you just stick with your conviction and say, "No, I got that. Hey, it was
I
right.
saw what I saw." Yeah.
Hey, we can argue. Even if you're wrong, I'd much rather you be just so far wrong that I think you're insane than having you make me think you're incapable of doing your job.
Yeah, it's very tough to be in charge of the outcome of the game and just be like, "Yeah, blew that one." It determined the entire outcome of the game and the playoffs at large. Whoops.
Won't happen again.
Yeah, obviously.
At least for these guys.
Yeah. Not much else to say about that, but criminy. In long distance running news, I don't know if you keep up with this.
So, no, because who is are we talking about just like the marathons?
Yeah, because I'm gonna have you do a little
super marathons.
Have you do a little math for me here, Zach. A marathon, as we all know, of course, is 26.2 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Sebastian Salwe from Kenya just set a new record for the standard marathon: 1 hour, 59 minutes, 30 seconds. What was the average time of his mile?
That is not so we can do some math here, right? So
yeah.
29 miles, right?
26.2.
26.
We can round to 26.
We'll round down to 26. We know that there's 60 minutes in an hour.
Yep.
Right? So we know he finished in an hour and some change.
Sub 2 hours.
Sub 2 hours.
By 30 seconds.
And some change. He's running like at an insane 3-4 minute mile.
Yeah, I think in my heyday of athletic prowess, I could turn in about a 7 and some change mile.
Ooh, you were out of shape. The best I've ever done was, I think I did it 6:15 is the best mile I think I've ever run.
I've definitely pushed into the high 6s on a good run, but those were few and far between. But yeah, so that is the new world record for the marathon. Sebastian Salwe, an hour 59:30. A brand new benchmark for human running speed, essentially.
That's insane.
The pacing is wild, and he would have if you just took like his score or his time at the halfway mark. He also would have set the world record for half marathons as well.
That's just so what people are capable of is stupid.
Indeed. And then it will have happened by the time this episode is out and whatnot. But we can still have a little fun with the Kentucky Derby horse names.
I never understand how one names a horse.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty wide open. I'm going to give you the quick rundown of your options here. You just tell me who you would put your money on to take home the Kentucky Derby, and we'll see if either one of us get it right.
Sounds good.
Your options are, and you just tell me if one hits your fancy here, but we got like 20 of these bad boys.
From what I know about the horse races, conditions and stuff matter, but in this event, if you're a bettor, 100% straight vibes.
Yeah, vibes on the name. So our options are Renegade, Albus, Litmus Test, Right to Party, Commandment, Dannon Bourbon, So Happy, The Puma, Wonderdine, Incredibolt, Chief Wallaby, Silent Tactic, Potente, Pavlovian, that's a weird one, Six Speed, Further Ado, Golden Tempo, Ocelli, and Robusta.
Is this the main race in the Kentucky Derby?
These are the 23 listed contestants, for who's lined up to do the run tomorrow. And whoever you pick, I'll tell you if they're favored to win or not, because I got their odds.
I feel like we are due for a bourbon to win.
You like, what was his name? Dannon Bourbon. He's a 20-1.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's potential. I think I kind of like Potente.
Chief Wallaby, though, that would be that feels like my kind of guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Renegade also hits a little, but no.
Renegade feels like too. That sounds like an angry horse. I don't need me an angry horse.
Yeah. Then I think I'm going to go with Six Speed, because that's a funny name for a horse, and he's at 50-1 odds.
That's a bike.
Among other things. Otherwise, I think that is all of our sports coverage for our busy celebratory weekend here. I have seen a lot more of what's coming out in the media landscape this week, or not coming out, but in the near future, or is out now. Odyssey is coming out soon.
Yep,
Christopher Nolan's big.
A Christmas movie, if I remember.
No, that's gonna be a summer. It's a June release.
Really, I thought it was a Christmas release.
I think they've bumped it up I believe June. It could have been a July.
Give me my Matt Damon, Tom Holland movie.
It's coming. Although Tom Holland can't have a very big part, if I'm remembering the story correctly.
He's Matt Damon's son.
He's Telemachus. Yeah, was he on the boat? I thought he had to stay home.
This is Christopher Nolan's story. He gets to tell it however he wants.
Okay, we'll see. I think in the original though, Telemachus stays home. Has to fend off all the suitors for his mom. Anyway, also came out this week trailers for Ted Lasso season 4.
Very excited for Ted Lasso. I'm always excited for Ted Lasso.
It was such a great series the first time around. It was definitely worth it just to give him another swing at it.
Bill Lawrence.
I mean, when you have the gift for writing good TV shows, you've got the gift. And just let the man make as many shows as he wants. And then we got our first look this week at the upcoming Resident Evil movie directed by Zach Cregger, who just got very popular from the movie Weapons from last year.
Less invested in the Resident Evil world because I'm not really a horror kind of guy, but I do like that we're starting to get to dive a lot heavier into the video game world because I feel like a lot of those stories are still very much untold or untouched on the silver screen.
And this is an interesting one because it's sort of like a reset for the Resident Evil franchise in terms of they very recently have kind of done a tone reset in the games franchises. Like 7 and 8 were pretty big departures from the previous 5 and 6. There is 4 or 5 Resident Evil movies out from the first attempt at movifying this franchise, and this is sort of a reset in terms of like do a little something different this time.
Yeah, those didn't happen.
And it's from a director who now is of an age where he has grown up playing some of the games as well, and knows what the feel of the Resident Evil franchise like kind of should be. And this does look like it is very much leaning into that sense of like being a lone person with very limited resources, having to forcibly, like for reasons outside of your control, go through very creepy areas.
Yeah, that does sound like Resident Evil. I don't think I could ever. Well, I'm not really a horror guy, but if I was, that makes some just wild castings. And for Leon, we have Zach Galifianakis.
That would be pretty funny.
It would be a tone reset.
That would definitely be a different tone for sure. See, that's the upcoming stuff that I saw, and then out, I believe, in theaters now or coming out very soon, a slate of movies, and I would curious if any of them have caught your attention. The new animated Animal Farm.
Didn't know that was a thing.
It's got Seth Rogen as the lead pig.
Oh, this is Sheep Detective.
No. Sheep Detective is a separate movie.
I am excited for that one.
I am also excited for Sheep Detectives, with Hugh Jackman as the human who tends the sheep, and then his flock of sheep have to solve his murder mystery.
I love it.
It's a great setup and already is getting great Rotten Tomatoes ratings and whatnot, so I am excited for that one. But no, Animal Farm is an animated, and I think it's coming from one of those like kind of secretly Christian studios.
Feels weird for Seth
like
Rogen
Angel's Gate or something.
To touch his foot into that, but
well, I think they're just throwing a bunch of money out because I think it's Seth Rogen in the lead pig, and I think it's Andy Serkis directing.
Oh, interesting.
So it's got like some pizzazz behind it, but a strange adaptation of the dystopian nightmare animal parable book.
Yeah.
So
that'll be a tone reset for sure.
I'm curious because like the advertising for it, we saw a trailer for it. I can't remember what movie we were at, but we saw a trailer for it, and it's like selling itself like one of these like Pixar family animated stories about the animals take over the farm, and then does like a really late twist in the trailer of like, oh, but no, it is going to do the thing about the rise of fascism.
You all remember.
It got serious here. The Seth Rogen pig, he's gone evil. So yeah, that one's coming up. I'm curious to see how the American audience takes to that lesson in particular. And then yes, we've discussed Sheep Detectives. The one that snuck under my radar I didn't really hear about until this week is Michael. The Michael Jackson
biopic that just released. Yeah, that one's been getting. I've seen a lot more on that one because there's been so many like celebrities that went to the premiere of that guy.
Sure, and that's just such a. It's one of those things where like they're making the movies about people whose lives you were alive for, and like I'm curious to see how deep into all of his stuff they got into. Because there's definitely a sort of Disney-fied, like, his road to stardom type of thing that has its own turbulences and whatnot, but then there's a lot of the weird, like, the family dynamics got weird over time, and then I don't know, it doesn't seem like in the bits I've seen, of the post pyrotechnics accident part of his career.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's so much about Michael Jackson that we as fans just never really knew about unless you got to experience time with him.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there is a lot of just media like allegations and stuff that are part of his cultural memory. That it doesn't feel like this movie gets into, so I'm curious like how much they want to skate over the drama parts, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, make
Because
money.
there is a fun like musical sort of story to be told just in the songwriting career.
Yeah, make money off of just the good music and the nostalgia vibes.
You absolutely can. So I'm just curious to see which direction they went on that one.
Yeah, critics hate it. Fans love it though.
Interesting. So I have some ideas about which way they went, and yeah, I'm just curious to see if my suspicions are correct, I guess. Wonderful. I didn't have any other media, movie, TV news. Did you?
Devil Wears Prada 2 has come out today. Actually,
Oh, that's
for all the fans that have been waiting for that guy.
That is how many years? Like 10, 15 years?
Feels even longer than that.
Let's
Feels like
check on that.
20.
Yeah, they nailed it. 2006 was the original. 2026 for number 2. That will be hopefully it lives up to the billing and the hype of the original. That definitely big shoes to fill. Oh, and as I say that, and I clicked on the Google thing, and then the high heels walked across the screen for me. What a fun little animation.
Google knows all. Again, another one it's not high like it is. We're in the 80s for both sides.
Sure.
Damn near 90 on the audience side because it seems like they love that. They love that stuff.
I mean, I'm sure if you were a fan of the original,
it's gonna hit all the notes for you.
Yeah, for sure.
And the last media note I have is I don't know if you've been tracking or watching another Bill Lawrence special, of course, because why not give the man the homage he deserves? But a show on HBO Max called Rooster.
Oh, no, I have not heard of that one yet.
This one is, I think, 100% up your alley. It's a story of what he calls a beach author, someone who writes just beach stories, someone you'll see in the
trying
books.
to churn out kind of a number of
books. They're not that they aren't terribly written, but they're not something that's like super thought provoking or anything like that. There's something you would grab at an airport or you'd want to sit on the beach with. Hence the name a beach book. But he comes in and is kind of getting to this wild mess with his daughter and her husband, and ends up being a teacher at this school. And there's all these kind of wacky characters he deals with, and we didn't get to see a lot of John C. Reilly and Scrubs. Why? Because he's hanging out with Rooster, and of course, it's none other than Michael Scott running the whole show. Steve Carell's as the lead for this one, and it's
that's already a banging.
It is a bang.
So.
I think it's something that you would love. Just the interaction, and everything. Worthwhile to sit down, especially with the whole season out now.
Yeah, and we know Bill Lawrence does a great job at writing characters and great situations for them to be in. So I will definitely have to check that one out.
It's worthwhile, and it's not super long either.
How long is it?
8 episodes, and each episode first episode's a little bit longer, things like 45 or an hour. The rest of them are 30, 35 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty nice and tidy.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have to bump that one up to near the top of the list. Probably.
For sure.
Very good. My only note out of the video game world this week, how much have you paid attention throughout your life to the Assassin's Creed franchise?
Paid attention a little bit. I feel like everyone who's a video gamer has a favorite Assassin's Creed that is like tied to them. Mine happens to be the one in Greece because that is like my favorite version of history. That's
Odyssey, I think.
Yep. The American Revolution one was pretty decent as well. That one was pretty fun. And then of course the French Revolutions. The two revolutions are like, that's just kind of fun. Like you're just going around.
Yeah, for sure.
Doing what you got to handle business.
So that's very telling about sort of like that was the era when you could sit down with those games for like a nice long time and whatnot.
And the interesting thing for me is like for gamers who like are not like super deep into the story. Not to say that Assassin's Creed doesn't have a super deep story or whatnot, but it's just like you're playing a game, sort of doing some stuff. There's not a whole lot of big story elements to it. Not a lot of big cutscenes and things like that.
Well, that's funny that you say that, because prior to Assassin's Creed 4, there was kind of an ongoing storyline in the meta world of Desmond, who was being put into the Animus machine to relive the memories of his ancestors and solve all these clues. And then they got to 3 and kind of threw Desmond under the bus, essentially, wrote him off. And
he's
then,
dead now.
Yeah, and so the world building has stayed, but yeah, they've kind of let each game live and breathe in its own little world. Specifically speaking of Assassin's Creed 3, introduced, that being the American Revolutionary set one, where you get to run around with all the founding fathers and whatnot. They innovated a boat fighting system for that one that people loved, like best ship combat we've had in a long while.
Need more boats.
And said, we're going to spin that off into its own game called Assassin's Creed Black Flag, where you're a pirate.
You're only boats now.
And it's all boats. You wanted boats? Here's all the boats you can handle, baby. And people loved it. It was exactly what they wanted. That was way back in like 2004 or something.
Feels like it was later
Maybe
than
2014.
Yeah, I think it was 2014.
That's
for that
the
guy.
year I want. A new one is coming out. They've
remaster.
It is. They've dubbed it Resynced. That'll be out in July 9th. And the funny little story behind this that I found is that the Ubisoft division in Singapore, who were the original innovators of that boat fighting mechanic, developed it for Assassin's Creed 3, and then they're like, okay, great, can you guys make us a whole game of that, and we're going to call it Black Flag. And they're like, you got it, we'll build a boat game for Assassin's Creed. Fantastic. And then Black Flag was so popular that they're like, hey guys, we want to do another boat spin-off game. This one's called Skull and Bones. They announced it in like 2015, and it was going to be like, yeah, more multiplayer focused, but all the great boat combat you've come to know and love from this franchise. That game didn't come out until 2024.
As things do.
As happens.
Talking to you, who does the goddamn Elder Scrolls?
Oh, Bethesda, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure Elder Scrolls 6 even exists.
No, it definitely exists. Don't look inside of this hard drive, though. Not because there's anything illegal here, but
yeah, they're just for reasons. There's nothing to show other than the little tease of very generic mountains that we saw.
Where's that trailer? Play that same trailer again.
Yeah, basically. So this game studio basically has spent now 13 years making Assassin's Creed boat games.
Where are the boats? Let me drive the boat.
And I have to imagine that
I'd get so sick of boats. I'd be
right, like
especially as like a developer. I cannot imagine.
I'm so curious what the turnover is at the studio.
Like water, all the water physics and the boat stuff and whatnot.
In that time, they've had to go from PS3 era to now PS5 Pro window, all the current level of graphics cards. And whatnot. So that's, a different water engine probably 4 times across that 13 years.
I forget which game it was it's bad, but the issue it's bad is because they can't, it's all the, I don't remember if it was Elder Scroll. It is Elder Scrolls.
One of the Elder Scrolls,
all the Elder Scrolls are built on an engine that is older than what is running now, which is why they have such a big issue
porting things up,
and also like making stories, making it feel like the new freshness, the new hotness.
There's a lot of issues there, but the gap between Elder Scrolls 5 and Elder Scrolls 6 is bigger than the gap between Elder Scrolls 5 and the beginning of the company.
Yeah, because it's on a whole new engine. I think is the problem. So the issue that they went for is right. They're in game world concepts, just in like you have to take into consideration just like space and how things interact in that space. When I leave a space, if I come back, does the space reset? Do things stay there? Like if I leave and there's a person in the room, if I come back, does that person still in the room, or does that person have sort of its own free will?
Yeah.
And that's like a wild thing to like have to think about and also have to program.
A little bit, but those are challenges that, like, I don't know. It's the
And
there have been creative solutions throughout the history of gaming for how to get around those things.
There are, but like if you think of like all the games you played, how many games do you take an object and just like toss it or drop it, and then you come back later and it's still in the place that it actually that you left it in?
Yeah, I mean it's newer.
Well, there's only one that I
guess
played.
Permanently it's a little different because like Skyrim has a like week cycle where it will stay there for a few in-game days and then the world will like reset on day 7 or something. But what are you thinking of?
Yeah, like Skyrim is the only one that I can think of that where like if I enter a place and then I re-enter, like the whole thing doesn't automatically reset. Like Skyrim's the one. Any of the Elder Scrolls are where it's like I put this thing here and it's there until we get a reset sometime later down the road.
The Fallouts from Bethesda are
built on the same engine, yeah.
Yeah, and then that's kind of one of the big sticking points with Starfield is that it's not very good at doing that particular thing.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "What are you guys doing here?" And they're like, "Well,
we spent 20 years making this game.
We tried to be different.
Did it bad."
Yeah, good concept though. Very good concept.
Concept was strong. Actual
execution
lacking.
We still got time. It might be good, like get good like Cyberpunk did years later.
I've read several reviews, and I even downloaded the update because it's like there's like been a couple DLCs and a big new patch just dropped a little bit ago, and a few other like review people in the gaming world had the same idea. Like, has it gotten better? Is it on an upward trajectory? And everyone's like, well, the big quality of life thing that they added was autopilot so that you don't have to use their piloting program and system that they built. And that's about it. If you didn't like it before, it didn't really fix any of that.
Hey, hear me out. Let them cook. It's a long bake time, like when I do brownies. Like when I had to do brownies in the old oven.
It says bake for 45 minutes, but we're going to be here for a couple hours.
I've been here for 2 days.
No, you pull them out and they kind of set themselves in the after cooking.
No, this is still just straight lava in the middle.
And you gotta do the high altitude adjustments, more flour, higher temp.
It doesn't like why are my brownies still mush?
Nah, and that's also some people like their brownies that way.
Nothing upsets me more in another old man rant because I'm broken from the Denver Nuggets than when I have to go cut the brownies and it sticks to my knife. I can't. That
very specific.
That makes me mad.
That is definitely a temperature thing. You haven't let them cool down enough, I think.
People tell me to cut them when they're hot. People tell me to cut them when they're cold. There's no
winning.
Yeah, there's no winning here.
Or you've got to get a fancier cutter.
I just need to get one of the dividers and just pour the brownies in.
There you go.
Yeah. System solved.
All right. I think that's a good week's worth of work for us. Let's wrap this thing up.
Thank you guys for coming along on another episode of 321 Presents. Of course, I've had a couple of rants because I'm broken, storm clouds all over me thanks to my beloved Denver Nuggets. If you've enjoyed the content here and hearing all of our rants and raves and all the other things that we do here, stories that we tell, please do hit that follow, the subscribe, whatever works on the platform you're listening to. Give us a little rating if that applies too. We like that. Give us comments. We love to hear your comments. What do you like? What do you don't like? Tell us how we can adjust for you guys. We're here for you to have a little conversation, a little dialogue. Join in with us.
I'll add it to the doc. I have a doc.
Yeah. Be added to the doc. And of course, I've been your host with no most here, Zach. And of course, Nick has been along here with me, and we will see you guys next week.
Adios.